Dad lost it over a skirt. Mom sent me. My twin called me immature and he sided with her. Then he destroyed my belongings. I ran away to my friend's house and will never go back. Hi, I created this account mostly to see icebergs, theories, and photos, but I never thought I'd be writing here. The people involved are me 16 female, my dad 59 male, my two older brothers 22, they're twins by the way, and my twin brother 16. As you can imagine, dealing with two sets of twins can be, well, stressful, and I understand my father in that. My mother is away working. She usually comes once a year or month, but I haven't seen her much since I turned 14. Sometimes she sends some stuff to me and my brothers. The relationship with my brothers is, well, complicated. I'm the only woman among all of them, so it was already difficult to connect with them. I only connect a little with my brother Andrew, fake name, 22 years old, since we both like Greek mythology and stuff like that. But here the problem is with my twin brother and my father. You see these last few days where I live, the weather seems to have a life of its own, sometimes hot, sometimes cold, etc. So today I woke up to unbearable heat. I had planned to go to one of those markets that sell everything to look for some stuffed animals from a series that I like. I dressed in a shirt, some sneakers, and decided to wear a skirt to have my legs freer. The skirt was short, almost 4 fingers above my knees, and that was the problem for my father. He immediately told me that the skirt was not appropriate and that I should change immediately. He knew I was coming out. I say this to clarify. I asked him what the problem was with this skirt since it was literally a piece of clothing that my mother sent me from the country where she works. He didn't say anything to me, he just told me that either I changed into pants or I wouldn't go out. I couldn't even speak when my twin brother joined the conversation. My father told him everything. I guess looking for support, and my brother, like the idiot he is, looked me up and down and said, "You look like a S-word in that skirt." I got angry about that, and out of rage I took off a shoe and hit him with it. But it got worse because my dad agreed with him. Yes, he said, if your brother thinks like that, what do you think the others will think? To top it all off, he called 2 older brothers and they also supported him. I ended up locking myself in my room. I looked at the skirt and I didn't see anything wrong with it. I looked at it for hours until I simply gave up on my plans to go out. That was practically 2 weeks ago. Since that day I don't speak to them unless it's important. My mom texted me today asking, why do I give my dad and brothers the silent treatment, and that my dad feels bad about it. I didn't send a response, so I would appreciate it if you could give me some advice so I can answer my mom and explain all of this to her. I consulted with some friends, while some friends, both men and women, told me that my dad went too far by not defending me from my brother's comment. 2 friends told me that I was exaggerating because of my brother's comment and that instead of complaining, I should take it as advice. So Reddit AITA, Update 1. Good afternoon, day or night, I'm calmer now so I can give you an update. Also, I'm going to eat in a few moments, so I thought I'd leave this here. Before I start, thank you all for leaving your comments, and to the 2 people who spoke to me privately, it means a lot to me. I'm going to summarize the call with my mom. She was furious and asked me for photos of the clothes I wore, and also asked for a photo of me wearing them. And well, for the few who managed to read my previous post before I deleted it, I stayed at my friend's house after my dad put on a show and tore all my clothes. I was lucky my phone didn't hang up when my dad walked in like crazy because my mom heard the whole thing and recorded it. So coming to the present, my mom called my friend's mom asking her to take me to see my dad at a cafe for breakfast. I'll be honest, it scared me. After remembering what happened the night before and my father's previous behavior, I felt like I didn't recognize him. Something I forgot to mention is that he rarely acts like this. I have seen him angry with other people, but never with my brothers or me. We went to a little cafe where my mother used to frequent before leaving, and there I found my father. It seemed like he had cried for hours as if he hadn't slept. We talked for a while, and he apologized, not only for the B-word thing, but also for not stopping my brothers, and also for ripping my clothes. I asked him for an explanation since he hadn't even given me one when about the skirt. He looked down and said he thought that if his words and those of my brothers affected him, he was going to change my clothes. WTF. Yes, that was my reaction, not in words but in feelings. I told him that it did affect me, but not just the clothes, but the fact that I allowed my brothers to call me a B-word behind my back and make fun of it. He started to cry. I'll be honest, I didn't understand why. I read a lot here about crocodile tears and emotional manipulation. He said he was sorry that he never wanted me to get to this point, that he didn't know how to handle the fact that I was growing up and that he didn't want to lose me. The conversation led to nothing, and I'm still at my friend's house. In the case of my brothers, none of them have spoken to me. My mom left me a message before she left for work telling me that she had already spoken to my brothers and my dad. The good news to liven this up is that my friend got me another plush toy for my collection, one of Shadow the Hedgehog. For now, everything has stayed like this, me at my friend's house and my dad with my brothers. I feel like there's something else my dad didn't tell me. I mean, like I mentioned, he never acted like that before, or maybe I didn't see it, but to be honest, I feel like there's something my dad isn't telling me, and so do my brothers. Thank you very much for the support, my Shadow plushie, and I say goodbye. Update 2. Good night, afternoon, or morning to everyone. For those of you in my time zone, you might be wondering, what am I doing writing so late? Well, as I usually say, things happened, so I prefer to keep you informed in addition to answering questions. But first of all, I really appreciate the help and advice given in my previous post. This teenager says it sincerely from the bottom of her heart, answering frequently asked questions. Daka, no, living with my mom isn't possible for 2 reasons. First, my mom is away too much. She doesn't have a home office. That wouldn't be a problem for me since I know how to cook, do my own laundry, and clean up after myself. The other thing is that my mom lives with 2 other women where she's staying this time. One is an older woman and the other is divorced. Both rented the room with the no children rule, so no, it's not possible. No, I never saw my dad act this way in front of me, as I mentioned in the comments, and in my previous update. He never behaved this way with me. He is usually very affectionate and understanding. So as I mentioned, I don't know what the reason for that outburst of anger was. And no, my parents are not divorced. The reason my mom is always away is because of work. She got pregnant with my older brothers, Andrew, Andy, and Elijah, when they were 21. My dad stayed behind to take care of both of them until my mom got a good job. Then they had my twin and me. She is still far away, and the money she sends is usually enough, and even left over for everyday things, school extra activities, etc. Now with the update 2 days ago, my brother Andy, 22, wrote me a message asking if we could talk the truth. As I got a little nervous, I asked him if we could talk on the phone, and he said yes. As a comment recommended, I recorded the conversation with my brother in case something happened, in addition to having my best friend's sister as moral support. The conversation was trivial at first. Andy asked me if I ate well, slept well, the usual stuff, until we got to the topic at hand. He apologized, saying he was an idiot and should have measured what he said. I asked him why he did that, why he used those words. At first, he gave me the same explanation as my dad, that is, it was to persuade me to change my clothes. I told him to tell me the truth, that I needed a rational and sincere explanation. I heard him sigh, and he said, "You wouldn't understand." I asked him what exactly I didn't understand, but he was stubborn in not telling me. I asked him if Mom told him anything. He said that Mom scolded him and my brothers for treating me like that, and that we would talk about it when she got back. He also asked me when I would be coming home. I told him that I would stay at my friend's house until Mom came, and that's where we started to argue. He told me that it was stupid to hide at my friend's house, that it was cowardly and childish to run away. Just because of a comment, I replied that after Dad tore my clothes, no matter how much I cried, he no longer made me feel safe. Less because neither he nor our other 2 brothers, his twin and my twin, defended me or comforted me. They just watched and turned a blind eye until Mom had to intervene. Upon mentioning Mom, he started by telling me that I shouldn't have brought Mom up, since she was already stressed enough with her job to listen to my tantrums, and that we could have worked it out at home. I told him this wasn't a tantrum. They literally ganged up on each other, calling me a sell-at-tea and making derogatory comments about my outfit, then let Dad rip my clothes. I asked him if he even bothered to think about if this would affect me, and he stayed silent. Then he ended the call, telling me not to do stupid things at my friend's house, and hung up. I cried. I know, probably pathetically, I really would like to say that I didn't feel anything and that I didn't care what he said, but regardless, this is my brother I'm talking about. Then before dinner, Ija, 22, Andy's twin, got a call. I thought about not answering considering my argument with Andy, but decided to. He didn't use any platitudes and told me straight up that I got him, my other 2 brothers, and Dad in huge trouble by going to cry on Mom and then running away into my best friend's lap. I told him what he expected. I didn't get any answers from any of them about what happened. None of them helped me when Dad was ripping my clothes and I was begging him to stop. I told him I didn't run away into anyone's lap and that I didn't cry to Mom. I just told Mom what happened and that I'm staying somewhere safe. I just heard him groan, and he told me to not do anything stupid. Before I could ask him what he meant, he hung up. I suspected that my twin brother, Toby, 16, would also call later, but he just texted me saying, "I hope you're happy now." I was confused. Most of the night I tried to call my mom, but she left me a message saying, "I'm about to finish the case, just give me 3 more days and I'll be there. I love you." Let's move on to the accident on Saturday. When my brother spoke to me, it was on Friday. I went out with my best friend for a walk. We were planning to go to a McDonald's with his sister and his cousin. His sister is 19 and his cousin is 10. She is quite quiet, and I really adore this little one. It was early, almost 3 in the afternoon. Lunch hadn't filled us up, so my friend's mom and my friend's cousin's mom gave us permission. We sat at a table, and I was the one assigned to order the food. Everything was normal until I saw my 2 older brothers enter the restaurant. My heart froze. I looked back at the counter praying that the line would get longer so they wouldn't see me. To my misfortune, they did. Almost immediately, the first thing they did was ask me, what the hell was I doing here alone? I told them I wasn't, that my friend's family was here. I wanted to pretend I didn't know them to ignore them, but that wasn't possible. Andy asked me whose shirt it was, and I told him it was my friend's. I don't know why, but that made them mad. Elijah told me that they warned me not to do anything stupid and told me they would take me home. I stepped aside when he tried to grab me, and I told him what stupid thing he was talking about. I'm writing here that if any of you are standing, you'd better sit down, because what my brother told me made me feel so nauseous that I wanted to jump out of a window. He told me that wearing my friend's shirt was a sign that I slept with him. Yes, you are not hallucinating, and it is not your glasses. If any of you wear glasses, those were my brother's words. I asked him why the hell he thought that, and he said that when a girl wears a boy's shirt, it is because he has marked his territory. That's when I really lost it. I told my brother he was a creep for even suggesting that my friend let me borrow that shirt, because I'd run out of the few shirts I'd managed to save and was now washing them, that both my friend and I were underage. And the fact that they made that assumption was just disgusting. Apparently that only made them believe their suspicions more, and they yelled back at me. Andy said not to lie, to tell the truth, and that if I did, they wouldn't tell Dad. I yelled back, telling him that it was disgusting that I wouldn't confess to something I didn't do and to leave me alone. Elijah then told me to stop being so stubborn and spoiled. Then he added something that hurt me. He said he didn't understand why I was so offended by the S-word thing. If I was behaving like one, that's where the comment he made that I ran into someone else's lap made sense. I felt nauseous, disgusted, and in pain. It made me think that if that was how my older brothers saw me. I was about to answer, but then a scream fell on both of us. It was my friend's little cousin. She started screaming that these 2 bad men, referring to my brothers, were yelling bad things at me. That caught the attention of 2 mothers who appeared, as well as my best friend and his sister. The rest was a blur to me. For what I know, my brothers were told to leave the place. They tried to take me with them, but my friend and his sister didn't let them. We ended up buying takeout, and my friend called his mom to pick us up. I don't know at what point I started crying, but my friend's little cousin noticed and gave me one of her chips to make me stop crying. It turns out that she and my friend's sister were looking at what toys were available in the Happy Meal. It was then that the little one separated from my friend's sister to let me know what toy she wanted when she saw my brothers yelling at me. My friend then asked me what happened, and I told him and his mom everything. Needless to say, my friend's mom was furious. After dinner, I spoke to my mom. I wrote to her and told her everything. She replied, "Just a few more days, honey. I'll be there right away." I don't know if it was the pent-up frustration or what happened at the restaurant, but I exploded. I sent her a voice message saying that I needed her now, not in a few days, that I didn't understand what the hell was going on, since it seemed like neither she nor my dad, much less my brothers, were being honest with me, that my brothers had said horrible things to me, that my dad was acting like a stranger, and that she only said we would talk about it when she got back. I told her that I was her daughter, that I admired her for what she did at work and what she did for her friend, but right now I needed her. I needed my mom. I ended the voice message by telling her I wanted to stay at my friend's house even if she came, since after today. And her attitude, I didn't feel safe with anyone, not with her or my dad, less with my brothers. I cried all night in silence, out of anger over this whole situation, but also out of guilt, because I know my mom is working her butt off every day to provide us with a good lifestyle and not make us go without, and I exploded at her. I'm sorry my update is so long and without any good news. I'd like to say that I feel better now, but honestly, I feel like everything around me is upside down from what I know. My brothers have told everyone. They know that they saw me wearing my best friend's shirt, which to them means that he marked me, or whatever that means in their freaking minds. My dad didn't say anything, and my mom didn't say anything about my audio. For now, I'm more calm. My friend's mom lets me join her in her hobbies of pottery and embroidery, and she also gave me some old paper doll cutouts to design clothes and keep me busy. I could never be more grateful to this woman and her entire family, as well as to all of you Reddit. Also, if you have any advice on what to give a 10-year-old girl, I would really appreciate it. Her birthday is in 2 months, and I want to give her a gift for helping me out there. For now, I say goodbye. I hope you have a good night, morning or afternoon, and I will update you if anything happens. Update 3. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are. I bring you what I hope is the latest update on what happened. I appreciate the concern, comments, and suggestions for my friend's cousin's gift. I'm going to try to summarize a little bit of everything that happened. First of all, my mother didn't come back, we both talked, and I ended up discovering things that, although they felt heavy, explained the situation to me better. The first thing, which I mentioned in a comment, is that the reason my mom was gone so much was because she needed her space. I asked her what she meant by that, and she told me that they were only expecting one baby, my twin. When they did the first ultrasound to see him, I wasn't that visible, my mom's words. It wasn't until the second ultrasound that they finally noticed me. So for those who theorized that I was the daughter of a lover, I am an unexpected surprise. My mom said that neither she nor my dad were ready for a girl when my twin and I were born. Mom was anxious, since having a girl, she would now have to stay at home more to guide me. My dad assured her that he would understand me and that my mom would not worry. I think she took that literally. I asked her why she was telling me this until now, and it turns out that the divorced woman my mother currently lives with, in a comment I said she lives with 2 women, listened to my audio when my mother played it, sat my mother down and told her that I needed her, that if she didn't do something now she would lose me, like she, the divorced woman, lost her children. She apologized for prioritizing herself as a woman more than me. She said she thought I was safe and calm at home, but after this, she understands that she was wrong to be out of my life and that of my brothers. We talked a little more, mostly about what I wanted, and if I was sure I wanted to stay at my friend's house. I said yes, and then she talked to my friend's mom, so they agreed that I would stay with my friend's mom. The talk with my dad and my brothers, well, it was by video call with my mom too. To be honest, I had already resigned myself to never having an explanation for all of this. The call can only be summarized in what happened in the restaurant, a scolding from my brothers, and the news that I will be staying with my friend. My dad tried to object, but my mom silenced him. So now I officially live with my friend, her sister, and her mom. The rules in the house are manageable, and I feel comfortable here. My friend and I call each other neighbors, and we agree to have movie marathons on Sundays. I chose a My Hero Academia anime movie, and my friend will watch ET with me next week. As for clothes, my mom sends money. I'll go with my friend's sister next week. She saw my style the times I went out with my friend, so she's taking me to a few stores to recover some of my old wardrobe. I had one last talk with my dad on my friend's porch with his mom watching. He apologized for disappointing me, for not protecting me, and cried again. Many will probably judge me here, but I accepted his goodbye hug. It hurts that things ended like this. He said he would find a way to earn my trust again, and that he didn't want to lose me. As for my brothers, I only received an apology from Andy, while my twin sent me a photo of my room still intact with the phrase, "It will be the same when you return." So here I am now at my friend's house in my new room with a few paper dolls that I made clothes for. I still keep the same calling schedule with my mom, while my dad will text me on weekends to check on me. That was my parents' arrangement. For my expenses, my friend's mother will be the one who receives a sum of money for anything, food hygiene products, medicines, etc. I really appreciate the comments and support. I'll leave it there. If something serious happens, I'll update you. But for now, I think this will end here. A big hug to everyone who commented, and have a nice morning, afternoon, night. Bye.